chasing the rabbit so you don't have to. Here they are, Mark and Don, the two crazy guys.
Good morning. Welcome aboard. You're listening to us on KYAH 540 AM. Thank you, Eric, very much for that warm introduction. My name is Donald Lowry, a.k.a. Big D, and I have the other crazy loon on the other side. His name is Mark Boyle, a.k.a. Prepper Guy. How you doing, wacko?
I'm doing better today than I was last night because I watched Tucker Carlson, and
Did you cry?
No, well, he's got Mark Stein filling in for him.
Mark Stein's cool.
Yeah, he's
I
good.
like him. Yeah.
And then I'm just reading some stuff and watching everything, and I'm like, what is wrong with President Trump? Because God knows I want to love the man. If he keeps talking about background checks and red flags, he is not going to get elected, because it's not that no one's going to vote for Elizabeth Warren or somebody. People are just going to stay home and go, hey, got no wall,
Look, man, you lose the support of the NRA and you're done.
Yeah, and he's losing, Bob and Jane across the country that are just like, that's fine. We love the guy, but if you're going to be listening to these Yahoo advisors that are from New York, that
Can't be caving, man.
No, he needs to take a stand and go red flag laws. What are you talking about?
Background
checks.
That kind of has me a little bit torqued off too. In fact, I have taken my Trump hat off for right now. But here's the thing, man. I'm going to vote for the guy because we don't have anyone else to vote for. He came out kicking strong.
Yeah. But then again, there's all these problems happening all across America, these shootings and stuff. And what's his name?
They're not shootings, Mark. They're gun grabs.
Right. The guy from Fox that does all the on the street reporting, he was there during the Operation Iraqi Freedom, Wilcott or something like that. And he was in Philadelphia, with this shooting with the cops being held hostage and all that. He made it a point to use the word AR-15 probably 20 times. And he didn't call it an assault rifle, thank God.
Yeah.
But then he said, he shot hundreds of rounds into the street, just like, and it's like, could you shut up? Because just because Trump is telling all the news to, let's push the people to thinking about gun control, doesn't mean they have to do it. What are they hauling the water for Trump, who's misinformed?
I don't know, man. This red flag thing, man. Here's the deal. We already have laws on the books that state that if you're mentally unstable and can be considered a danger to yourself and or society, then you can't own a firearm.
Right.
Now they're pushing this legislation. If my next door neighbor calls the cops on me and says I'm a whacked out loon bat, they're going to come to the house. They're going to see I'm a Second Amendment guy. They're going to confiscate my weapons until they put me through a trial to see if I'm mentally fit and or capable. Who's deciding this?
Well, that's the
government. What if I get put into, what if my trial is in front of a liberal loonbat anti-Second Amendment, judge? I'm done.
Right. And the thing is, they deny due process. You probably won't even ever go to a hearing or a trial. And the term is so nebulous. It's like any reasonable person thinks you're a danger. Well, my dog could be a danger if I backed it into a corner or something like that. But it's just, like you said, we have the rules on the books, which they don't even follow.
No. They just want to, here's the deal, man. They want to get a foot in the door so that eventually they can grab that full Monty, man.
A foot in the door, shit, they got half their body in the door with these gun laws as it is.
Yeah, I know.
I was talking to one of my liberal customers from Bisbee, which kind of explains everything right there. And he kept calling it an assault rifle and, mass shootings and all that.
But Mark, that's what AR stands for, isn't it?
Automatic rifle? No. American Reload?
No, Armalite. Armalite.
Oh. But, he was, I go, the problem is you people talk about an assault rifle, and the minute you say that, we know you're stupid. Because I go, I got an assault hammer. I got an assault drill, an assault screwdriver.
Exactly.
I go, it doesn't exist. And then you make it sound like with these words like, well, you're turning your 22 into a machine gun. It's like, once again, you've told me you're an idiot. But arguing with this guy was so hard. And we weren't really arguing because he's a customer. So I usually cut him some slack. But it's like, I go, the problem is one person wants to kill many. I go, I get that. That's a problem. But I go, well, if you take away all the guns with your magic wand, then one guy is going to poison many, or he's going to make a pipe bomb and kill many. I said, so you're addressing a symptom, but not the problem. I go, well, yes, we have mental problems in America, but I go, if we have all these smart people from Harvard and stuff, why can't we figure out, there was a point in time when people didn't do that. And why is that? Well, they weren't taxed to death. They weren't regulated to death. They felt, secure in their homes and stuff. I go, maybe if we went back to a better time without as much government regulation, people wouldn't feel forced to go crazy.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait. You said he was a customer, so you cut him some slack. I'm a customer. You don't cut me no slack.
Yeah, but you're as crazy as I am. They would disarm both of us at the same time. They would get two for the price of one.
Yeah,
you already paid your bill. To hell with you.
See, that right there is what makes you a successful businessman. So the whole thing is crazy, and there was another shooting. I guess there was in California the other day. California. Wait,
how could that be? They don't own guns in California, right?
They're not supposed to.
Holy crap! They didn't follow the law. He must have been a criminal.
Imagine that a criminal didn't follow the law.
Oh well, we should write our congressman and explain this to him. Well, that won't do any good because they don't know how to read. Maybe that's the problem with writing our congressman.
Because they keep signing these bills that they don't know what's in them. Oh, remember Nancy Pelosi said, you got to pass the bill before you can see what's in the bill.
Right. But we couldn't accept Mueller report until we saw what was in it, and then they didn't like it, so we're still not accepting it.
That's exactly right. You just never know what's in these bills. They don't even know. They don't read them, and they just want to pass them. And so this whole he better watch out because he's treading on thin ground here. I am probably one of the more staunch Trump supporters out there, and I'm finding issues with this stuff, and it's driving me crazy, Mark. It's like he's caving or something, and it just drives me nuts.
And I don't get it. I don't expect to. I don't expect to, elect Jesus Christ here or nothing. But if he's going to cave on something good, like maybe the border wall or something like that.
That's kind of been compromised too.
Because we could do without a border wall. Maybe we ought to just put a border military post, like from California to Texas, and just let them drive their Humvees and shoot guns and stuff. But guns, the Second Amendment, no, he can't cave on things. That's like caving on Kentucky Fried Chicken. Why would he do that? That's the
biggest thing, man. That is the biggest thing.
Yeah,
is the Second Amendment. Because if they get that, man, if they get that,
well, they won't.
Done. No, they won't.
But that's
we can't say they won't. We can't say they won't because all they need to do is they need to either get him to cave or they need to get him talking enough to where he loses the election, they win the election, and then they will get it done.
Well, then it's just revolution, which is a bad word. Everyone's like, oh my God, Mark said the revolution word. that's what happens. That's what England, tried to take our guns, and they had a revolution. Eventually Americans need to wake up and go, I don't really care what they say in Washington.
Right.
And if my politician that signed that bill comes back into the state, my sheriff's going to arrest him.
Right.
And we're not going to follow it. But nobody's going to do that. Everybody's going to just roll over and tuck tail and run and go, oh, well, we lost. It's like, oh, okay. With that attitude, I guess we do lose.
You deserve to lose.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't even go out on the field, well, then you're not going to win the game.
Right.
And, cheering only does so good for so long. And then it's like, I don't know. We come that close to saying what really should happen in America. But if we did, then we're inciting thinking, which is as bad as inciting violence in America.
Yeah, the whole thing stinks, man. It stinks to high heaven. I don't like it. I don't want it. And it just...
Yeah, so I'm doing really good today because that was yesterday when I watched the news and I was really pissed. So today I feel great. It's sprinkled a little bit. The weather's kind of nice.
Yeah. It was supposed to rain, but it didn't. We didn't get much rain here. But
yeah,
so well, we're gonna. We got a couple minutes left in the segment. When we come back, we're going to talk about other news, such as how the headline seems to hype things up. We'll talk. I think we can cover a little bit on Epstein as well. That stinks. You talk about stinky fish, boy. That's a stinky fish, man. That's a stinky fish, and I don't know. As Ricardo would say, Lucy, you have some splaining to do.
Yeah, that thing smells worse than a J. John in Phoenix in the summer, man.
Somebody's definitely got some explaining to do because...
Well, we can explain to our audience why we should run for president because we draw bigger crowds than Pocahontas. We'll talk about that after break.
We'll talk about that too.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break. We'll cut a few minutes. We'll cut a couple seconds early. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with more right after this. Do not go away.
So are you tired of being tired? Well, then it's time to get the tea. Hey, it's Lisa here to tell you about this all-natural, all-organic tea I've been drinking that has had great results for over 20 years. It's called Life Change Tea, and it's specially formulated to help detoxify and cleanse your kidneys, liver, colon, and blood all at once. The colon is one of the most ignored organs in the human body. The faster that waste is eliminated from the body, the less time that waste sits in our intestines, spreading toxins to our bloodstream. This tea helps cleanse chemicals caused by outside intruders from our entire digestive system. And get this, weight loss can be a side effect. And with continued use of the tea, you can experience clearer, healthier, younger looking skin, increased energy, and a happier outlook on life. So if you're tired of being tired, get the Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. And like me, you'll be glad you did.
This is Contra Radio Network, internet radio for the discerning prepper and patriot.
Hi, this is John Jeffers, inviting you to listen to my show, The Jeffers Brief. You know, on The Jeffers Brief, we discuss topics of interest and concerns for preppers and patriots. You can only find us on the Contra Radio Network on podbean.com or KYAH 540 AM, Utah's Talk Authority. Hope you join me, and we'll talk to you then.
Talking the issues and taking the hit. Here they are, the two crazy guys.
Alrighty, welcome back. We are in the second segment of today's program. You are locked on to KYAH 540 AM, Utah's Talk Authority, and you're also listening to us on Contra Radio Network, and all the other goodies that are out there: iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Stitcher, all those places out there. Listen, you want to do us a favor, head on over to www.contraradionetwork.com and check it out over there. Hit the donate button. Send a couple bucks a month, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I need to redo that website, make it a little prettier. It's more of a corporate site, which is boring. So I was going to talk to John about it, but he never calls me because he's like,
always busy.
It's like Roger Ailes. He's just too important for us nowadays.
So Epstein killed himself, committed suicide.
Yeah, amazing.
Amazing, considering the man was, well, all right, so he was on lockdown, he was on suicide watch, and then he wasn't on suicide watch. And then he's in a prison cell. There's no way to do any. So, the autopsy comes out, and the autopsy reveals broken bones in his neck. Broken bones are more common in a strangulation situation.
So they were the little bones, not the big vertebrae bones from being hanging himself and stuff.
Right, exactly. There's a whole bunch of inconsistencies in stories. It looks like the guards were making up fake tweets. They were sleeping or whatever. They weren't paying attention or whatever. I don't know, man. I don't know. It just sounds real weird.
No, it is real weird. But, they're saying the prosecution on a lot of the accomplices of his might still go forward because they didn't have immunity back in, 2007? Because he went to trial once before. He got immunity from certain things, but they're saying that doesn't transcend to his crazy, crooked accomplices.
Right.
And stuff. So, it's really interesting to watch, but who cares? Because nothing's going to happen. We know Hillary should be in prison.
Yeah.
There's just more evidence than anything. And yet she's still, wandering around out there writing books and going on the View. So, I think Clinton could have walked into the prison and borrowed one of the guards' guns and shot Epstein and walked out, and they'd have called it a suicide and nothing would happen.
That's right.
Because that's the way it works.
So the other question I have is, did he really die? Or is he living a secret life somewhere?
Maybe it's like, Osama bin Laden, there's theories on that, he never really died. They just got him in a dark cell where they're waterboarding him and getting information, which is, doesn't matter to me. So I don't know. I thought there was footage right after that went out on the news that he was dead, that they showed, footage of rolling him into a hospital where he was still kind of alive. So well, I don't know. We'll never hear about that either. So,
well, and there's another story out that they found I don't know whether it was a picture or a painting with Bill Clinton in a blue dress.
The blue dress or just a blue dress?
I don't know. Maybe it was Monica's dress. I don't know.
We're going to dress up for Halloween and go, look, I'm playing the part of president again.
So I don't know, man. The whole thing, the family's upset. People that are close by, they've got that were close to him, have a lot of questions. There's going to be conspiracy theories about this until the end of time, just like there's conspiracy theories about everything else, like 9/11 and everything else that's out there. We will probably never know the truth. They will go that it was a suicide, even if the Clintons, like you said, could have walked in there and shot him and he hung himself. So we'll never know the truth. However, the FBI has raided his island, and I'll bet you,
like a week later.
Yeah, I'll bet you $10 to a donut, Mark, that we will never hear any more about that.
I'd rather have the donut.
And even if we did, how much of it is going to be the truth?
Well, here's my big conundrum. Do we really care? I mean, the guy was just a pedophile.
Well, yeah, I kind of, all right.
And we
so
kind of, there's reasons why we should want to know, because there were so many other public elected officials tied
that's
in.
what I want to know.
With the pervert ring, but they were with Pizzagate and all these other things. So we're not going to know.
Personally, I don't care, other than that's what I want to know. I want to know how many, I don't care if they're Democrats or Republican. I want to know how many, who they were, the years and the times that all this took place. And I want them to be punished.
Look at it this way. Maybe Trump's name was on that list, even though I read every name on the list. And so now the Clintons are holding this over his head. They said, we're going to kill him to get him out of the way, but you need to start talking about gun control again.
Well, that's a theory.
So maybe if all of us Democrats or Republicans and conservatives just go, Trump, we don't care. I don't care if your name was on the list. Just don't take my guns, and we'll stop talking about Epstein. I don't know. I mean, it could be so many layers of corruption that
it very well could be. But I'll be honest with you. We do know that he did kick Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago. And I'll be honest with you, Mark. I believe that if there was any truth to that, it would be in every news story all day, every day.
Right.
I mean, look what they did. Look what they did. They made up a fake. They made up a fake story about the man. They took a fake dossier to a FISA court, lied to a FISA judge, got a legal warrant to spy on the man, tried to convict him of a crime that he never committed. And, oh, by the way, notice how all that's gone away.
Right. Yeah.
But
this is the new smoke and mirror show.
Yeah, but if they had anything, trust me, to link Donald Trump to this guy, they wouldn't be hiding it, brother. It would be all over every newspaper. It would be in every headlines. It would be all over Matt Drudge. It would be all over Fox News. It would be all over CNN. It'd be all over The View. It'd be all over everywhere. That's all that we would be hearing all day, every day. But you see, because Bill Clinton's name was actually on the manifests for flying on the flights 20 times.
Right.
But how come we don't hear about it?
Right. Well, and for all of those reasons that you just explained about the dossier and all that, it's the same reason we'll never know what really happened. Because the Democrats are really good at, circling the wagons and using, a good crisis and stuff. So we won't know. Like I said, it's
never let a good crisis go to waste.
But it is nice that, that one crazy guy still wants to, move forward to impeachment.
Oh, yeah. The guy from Texas, Green, Representative Green or something.
Al Green. I always think of the singer. But, yeah. So I don't know.
But he doesn't have anything.
If Texas
it's already been shown. They threw a vote. He forced his vote out into the House. They didn't even have 100 votes.
Might as well throw him out of the car at 180 miles an hour. Not him, just all his votes. Or him. I don't really care, but
yeah, I don't either.
But if we lose Texas, then we really have lost the country at that point, because it's a stronghold. for electoral college and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're really working on it. They're just chinking away and chipping away at the foundations of liberty.
Yeah.
Every stinking day.
Every day. And there's nobody out there opposing it.
No.
No. I mean, very, very few, but not enough. It's just not enough.
Yeah, because a few isn't enough. That's not even a rounding error in accounting unless you go out about 500 past the decibel point.
Yeah.
So it's it's scary once again. But I hear that we get as many views and people showing up to listen to us as Elizabeth Warren.
Oh, that's a headline that I saw.
I was impressed. It's like, hey,
I saw a headline, and it says
we can run for president, and I'll be the vice president. I don't care. I want to, just kind of hang out in the background. I'm too crazy to be up front.
So there was a headline. It says Warren packs in crowds in New Hampshire. Warren packs in crowds in New Hampshire. Now,
that sounds like a lot.
If you look at that headline, the headline is very misleading, and it makes you think that she really, really packed them in. But then you click on the link to read the story, and it says she speaks before hundreds.
Yeah, hundreds. Whereas Trump speaks before tens of thousands.
Dude, our programs, our podcasts get more downloads.
I know, right? It's like, combined, we're burying Warren in the statistics numbers.
In just the podcasts, man. I mean, I'll put a podcast out, and within the first 24 hours, it's over 100 downloads.
Right.
So it's fascinating that you and I, who are little guy nobody, can reach a larger audience than a Democratic presidential candidate.
That's been on a debate stage twice now. Invited to the clown circus twice. Well, and then I heard a thing. What's her name? Ocasio-Cortez.
Oh yeah.
She raised $1,500 in her district among her voters in the last year. $1,500.
Wow.
Nobody even likes her where she was elected.
$1,500.
Right.
Man.
And that's for, she's in the news constantly. So I guess most people that live there are just like, yeah, it's great that you're on CNN every 5 minutes, but what are you doing for me lately? In our district.
Well, listen, we're going to run to a break. And,
again, we just got back.
Yeah, it goes quick, doesn't it? Time flies when you're having fun.
Right.
We will be back shortly after a message from our sponsors. Do not go away. We'll be back right after this.
Times are changing. The circus of politics, healthcare's low standards and high prices, and let's not forget food quality. What to do? Arm yourself with Life Change Tea at GetTheTea.com. In a world of chemical imbalance and poor air and water quality, it's time you make a move. Log on to GetTheTea.com and stock up on organic non-GMO supplements. Don't forget the tea. Cleansing your body never felt so good. And we have a brand new tea called Takedown Tea, which helps support healthy glucose. All natural body support so you can be at your best, naturally. All you have to do is log on to GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. We're not a fad that comes and goes. We are the real deal. Join us and armor up. GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. Changing America's health one tea bag at a time.
Black Metal Firearms are a couple guys I know personally and friends of mine that put together some great accessories for all your firearms needs. Everything that I've seen them do is just top-notch and very nice looking. BlackMetalFirearms.com. Check them out. I think you'll be glad you did. Go to Facebook, Black Metal Firearms. They got a great page there too. Learn more about the workmanship and the craftsmanship they put into every accessory and every build they do.
This is Contra Radio Network, internet radio for the discerning prepper and patriot.
Alrighty, welcome back. We are in segment numero 3. See, I can speak Spanish, Mark. You're listening to us on KYAH 540 AM, Utah's Talk Authority and Contra Radio Network. So before we left on the break, we talked about Elizabeth Warren just packing in the crowds. Just
packing them
in, man. Hundreds, by the hundreds. And she's got a big lead in Iowa in the caucus, in the Iowa caucus. She's leading by like 28%
among Democrats.
Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders both tied for second with 17 each. Buttigieg or Buttigieg, or however you pronounce that name, came in fourth at 13%, and Kamala Harris has the backing of 8%.
And how about the mayor of New York? I mean, I hear he's pretty popular. What's he down to, like minus 5% or something?
Well, Beto, Cory Booker and Beto O'Rourke, they got 3% of the caucus goers support. Tulsi Gabbard and Bullock and Amy Klobuchar and Tom Steyer, they got 2%. Julian Castro, Michael Bennett, Andrew Yang rounded out the field at 1%, and everyone else is lower than that.
that would be Dingaling from New York, and it sounds like the cast of a really B-rated movie. Well, I kind of is, I guess.
Dude, this is horrible, man. This is horrible. I feel like I'm inside of a Saturday Night Live or Mad TV skit or something like that.
Mad TV.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Mark. We laugh at this on the surface, man. We laugh at this on the surface. But if you look at that, listen to what I just said.
Right.
That is ridiculous, man.
Yeah. Well, and if you think about it, that is what, okay, let's just homogenate both parties. That's the best that America can put out there. That's our A team for a presidential campaign. I mean, we can laugh about it because we got Trump, and unless he just continues to do stupid ass shit, we'll get reelected. But out of all those people, even during the last election, what we had 14 or 15 running, they weren't morons. I mean, maybe to the Democrats they were, but I mean, Cruz has a good, record. Rubio, he's articulate. He doesn't just blather on like Cortez. So yeah, it's kind of scary when you look at that. Like if we were aliens watching this from like another planet, which we know they don't exist, just ask the government, but we would have to sit there and go, boy, that planet is really messed up. That little country there they call a continent is, boy, they got some stupid people in that place.
It's pretty sad, man, that the front runner right now, the Democrats, is pulling 28%, man.
And that's a gal named Pocahontas who lied about her citizenship or her heritage. Indian heritage. Yeah. Because she has high cheekbones, Mark. Yeah.
Well,
how high are mine? Because mine are up here. Am I Native American there? I mean, I'm up pretty.
I'll be honest with you. I think both of us have more Native American in us than she does.
I like the Native
American. She has less than 0.5%.
And I've eaten fry bread before, so that's as good as her mom's recipes.
Hey, let me tell you something. I have been on the Tohono O'odham Nation, and I have actually been up there. Got a great tour with some really fabulous people up there, and we spent the day there in a place and in the place, and we had hand cooked Indian fry bread, and they fed us well, and the whole 9 yards. And let me tell you something, man, it was an eye-opening experience, and it was something that I will never forget in my entire lifetime, that they actually allowed us to go. I mean, they took us into their home because we're really good friends with an individual that's from there.
Yeah.
And, he took us to the parents' home and to the families, and we actually they took us into their home.
Yeah.
And they fed us and they took care of us. It was an experience that a lot of people don't get to go into, the Indian reservations. You traveled into into the casinos and that kind of thing. But we didn't do that. We actually went into the real everyday
part of the
lives.
reservation. Well, when I lived up in
yeah.
northern Arizona, it was the same thing with the Apaches and the Navajos. They'll just give you the shirt off their back.
Yeah, man.
If you're broke down on the side of the road, they will pull over, help you, take you into town.
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden they found their long lost, relative.
Yeah.
Everything is on hold. They could be going to a really important meeting, whisk you off, take care of you.
Yeah.
If it's real important, they'll just take you with them. They just go, oh, come watch the ceremony. We can't leave right now. Just awesome people.
Yeah.
I think what they need to do on these reservations is, especially the one that Elizabeth Warren is from, is have like certificates to where like you could buy at the casino that says I'm related to Elizabeth Warren, so therefore I'm 0.0000001%, Cherokee or whatever it is. I don't think they would do that to their civilization, but
yeah, no. So the whole thing, it just it's bewildering to me to watch this thing unfold. So it's unprecedented what we're seeing in this. It's sickening to watch this mockery. These, they're out there dancing around on the stage at these clown shows, and they just look like absolute complete buffoons, man.
They don't look like buffoons. They are buffoons.
And it's not becoming to see that this is what our country has turned into, that we have presidential candidates for the most powerful position in the world acting like children and acting like clowns, and this is mine. If you ever saw that show, what was it? Was it The Little Mermaid? No,
Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo. Where they had the seagulls. Mine. That's exactly what it reminds me of.
Well, if I was artistic, I'd draw that picture and have them all sitting on the podiums instead of standing behind them.
But
mine.
This is what America has been reduced to, Mark.
Yes, over 100 years, yeah. And I guess if you look at it as serious as you're laying it out, yeah, it looks really bad.
We're talking about the presidency of the United States of America.
When I was in high school, I think I saw better high school presidential debates for the class class president.
Yeah.
Than what I'm watching on national TV.
And we have these, quote, candidates, unquote, with the big ditto marks. And they're up there on the stage, and all they can come up with is bashing the current president and, we're going to give away free stuff.
Right. More free stuff. I'm clicking on my little icon.
Yeah, I see that. It just blows my mind that this is what our country, the greatest nation in the world, has been reduced to. And this is serious stuff, people. I mean, I'm not just saying this to say it. This is serious stuff. If you think about what I'm saying, if you listen to what I'm saying and you dissect what I'm trying to tell you, we have individuals that are running. We have a fake Indian. We have a fake Mexican.
Right.
We have a washed up socialist.
Yeah.
We have creepy Uncle Joe, who's the former vice president of the United States, who doesn't even know what day it is.
Right.
We've got Kamala Harris. It's just, and these people can't even get above a quarter, 25% in their own party's caucus.
Is Kamala Harris, have they vetted her at all? I mean, is she native born and all that?
No, she's a joke.
I mean, because everybody loved Rubio, but he wasn't really qualified.
So the first debate came out, and she got into Joe Biden about the busing and all of this, in the inner cities, and I was one of those children that were bused, and come to find out she wasn't.
Right. So now you can add liars to that list. You're going down. And this is representative of we the people. I mean, it's not, but this is what the media is telling us.
This is what they want to be representative of we the people. And man, it's just beyond me that this is what we have to deal with every single day. You've got them bashing Trump, making up lies, making up hypocrisy, all this other stuff. And they want to be the leader of the greatest nation in the country, right? In the world. I mean, I'm sorry, in the world. Right. And it's just, man, it's not becoming of our country, and it's making our country look like the laughing stock of the world.
Yeah. In fact, if Trump wasn't out there doing the things on the world stage that he's doing, we would look worse than we did when Obama went on his apology tour. I mean, not to mock Obama, but if it shoe fits, wear it.
Oh, you go ahead. You can mock Obama on our program. I don't care.
Okay. Well, I don't want some of our
going to be offended.
One of our listeners that maybe liked Obama, please tune out. But so thank God, our president is at least on the world stage doing good things. He's saying the right things. He's got a lot of allies that go, we like Trump, we support Trump. And then you have this clown show, as you called it, back during the first debate, out there representing the Democratic Party. And I guess you just kind of have to look at it if you were buying a new truck and you're looking at one and it's made by Hugo Corporation, and you're looking at the other one that's made by Dodge or Chevy or Ford. You're going to go, no, it's just I'm going with this over here. I'm going with the Trump truck. Yeah. The Trump, jumping on the Trump train, while the crazy train's just coming off the rails, man. It's just, and really the only thing that could screw this election up is Trump, really, because we'll stand behind him, no matter what. So if he doesn't distance himself or get, the American people, the middle class, to where they stay home because of some of the things he's talking about, guns control and red flag laws. Because really, that's his only Achilles heel with this thing. Then he'll win. Then we're safe for 4 more years.
Yeah. Well, let's hope, man. Listen, segment 3 is officially in the can. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Hi, this is John Jeffers, inviting you to listen to my show, The Jeffers Brief. On The Jeffers Brief, we discuss topics of interest and concerns for preppers and patriots. And you can only find us on the Contra Radio Network on podbean.com or KYAH 540 AM, Utah's Talk Authority. Hope you join me, and we'll talk to you then.
This is Contra Radio Network, internet radio for the discerning prepper and patriot.
Hey folks, guess what the number one phrase that Life Change Tea receives by email? You ready? We love this tea. We love this tea. Time after time, week after week, we love this tea. Life Change Tea gives you more energy. A beautiful cleansing, and fulfills its slogan perfectly. The tea that makes you go. So if you want to be on your health game, log on to getthetea.com and order Life Change Super Strength Tea. Packages come in a 1-month supply, and when you brew this stuff, wait until you see the results. Aren't we all about the results? And with a lot of people's health struggling, we can use a little bit of help. Doctors will tell you disease starts in the gut. So log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Be our next email saying, I love this tea. I love this tea. Get the tea at getthetea.com.
Alrighty, welcome back. We are in segment 4. 3 are in the can. This is the final segment for today, Sunday. Thank you for tuning in. You're listening to us on KYAH 540 AM, Utah's Talk Authority. Thank you for tuning in, folks. And listen, I've got a question to propose to you, Mark. Now, we've had all these mass shootings here lately, and it's kind of funny. I call them gun grabs because that's really what they are. But here's my question. This is the question I want to pose to you. How many? Now, I'm not just talking about the recent shootings that we've had. I'm talking about all of them. How many of them? All of them. All of them. All of them in the history. How many of them were NRA members?
I'm going to go with 0.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to go with 0, Bob. That's my final answer.
You mean there were absolutely no responsible gun owners out there shooting people?
No, it's kind of amazing because I think it flies in the face of, statistics. Well, Democratic statistics.
Now let's move forward. We touched briefly on this earlier in the program. California just recently had one. But that's my point here. Stick with me, Hal, for those of you in Rio Linda. So this is my point is all of these mass shootings have taken place in strict gun control cities. In other words, these cities that have imposed the most stringent, strictest gun control laws on the books, they're the ones having the problems with the mass shooters. What's that tell you?
That Virginia has porous borders, and they all come in from Virginia, according to Detroit. Well, that's the logic that they use. So California would probably blame it on Arizona and Utah or Nevada. It's like, oh my God, because they don't have gun laws.
So here's another. So you've got strict control. Rented tongue. Let me take that one back and get another one.
Yeah, just go start all over.
You have illegal welcoming. In other words, sanctuary cities.
Right.
That are saying they are going to refuse to uphold the law and that you cannot have a firearm. Well, I won't say that, but I'll say they have the strictest laws on the books. And, oh, wait, we've even had them happening in the gun-free zones.
Yeah, because a lot of the school shootings, aren't those gun-free zones? Yeah. I'm just curious. I
Malls
could be wrong.
Malls, too.
Oh. Yeah, that's an odd thing. So basically,
so wait, we got people going in and shooting people up in places that you're not supposed to have guns in the first place.
So is it a signage problem, or is it a government mistake? Maybe the signs aren't big enough, or they're not bright enough. That because let's face facts. If you're going to murder a bunch of people, you're really probably too stupid to be able to read. Or what, because they got the big circle with the handgun. It's like, no.
Yeah.
So it's obviously not marketing. So they're just
what it
wrong.
Is? No, what it is those individuals know that those locations are easy targets.
That's it. Yeah, because if McDonald's said they were going to be giving away free hamburgers, people are going to go in and get free hamburgers. So if you tell people there's no guns here, that's where people are going to go that want to break the law and kill people.
It's free reign.
Yeah, it's open range. Free open hunting, no permit required. Well, it's sad that they can't see it because we got a lot of people innocent people getting shot and hurt, which is sad. But the politicians, once again, just don't give a shit about
No.
you or me or any of our listeners or anybody in America's safety or their families. That's what
Right.
that tells me. And it's just, I was just wondering, just the other day, like, well, I know one of the shooters in the middle of the week, because we had so many this week, or maybe it was the first part of last week, was an Antifa member.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had the guy that was trying to blow up propane tanks at that ICE office. So you have Democrats shooting at ICE buildings and FBI buildings, and it's not on the news at all. But
So the Dayton gunman, the guy that was in they tried to link to Trump, saying he was a Trump supporter and all this other stuff. The guy that had all the body armor and all that stuff. Well, come to find out now, it's very apparent that they found that he was on cocaine and alcohol and antidepressants.
right. So that goes to my point. See, there was a time in America where we weren't this messed up. Didn't need all these gun laws because people just didn't
Right.
want to kill people. But
Right.
now you got all the psychotropic drugs and the Ritalin when they're in third grade and all
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
causing people to react differently
Yeah.
than they normally would in a more civil society than we have now. And I lay it all on the feet of too much regulation, too much government,
Amen, brother.
and I mean, it can't be any more clear than that, but we can't fix it because they don't care.
No, that's what it is. You have all these people out there. They're on there. So the doctors are prescribing all these drugs, whatever, painkillers, whatever you want to call it, antidepressants, whatever. But they're
Opioids.
prescribing all these drugs that are not FDA long-term approved. So Joe Blow gets put on some antidepressants because he's sad and he feels oh, by the way, I don't know if you noticed or not. I noticed it because I went to the doctor just for a checkup, and I had some forms to fill out. And on the forms, there were questions like, do you feel yourself feeling worthless? And then it says circle one. And the three choices were always, most of the time, or some of the time.
So there's no.
There was no never.
I feel great. Yeah, you can't feel great. What the hell's wrong with you?
There was no never there. The words were, the choices were.
I'm crazy some of the time. I'm crazy a little bit of the time.
No, I feel worthless. I feel
my
worthless. That's one of the questions. The other question is, I feel sorry. And again, the three choices were all of the time, some of the times, or most of the time, and some of the time. There was no circle there. So I wrote on there in big capital letters, NEVER, and then circled it. Right. And so, but the whole point that I'm getting at is, so they've got these people, these forms, they're deliberately setting you up to claim that you're a depressed individual.
Right.
So that they can stuff these drugs down your throat so that you don't feel worthless and you don't feel hopeless and you don't feel sad. These are, mind you, they're not long-term tested drugs by the FDA. And so they're piping this stuff down these people's throat. These people are out there. They're on these antidepressants and these psychotropic drugs, like you said, and all this other crap. They're taking handfuls of pills all day, every day.
Right.
And then they miss a dose and they go freaking wacko and they go shoot up a school.
Yeah. I think it's I hate the word conspiracy, but there's obviously a plot, because all these shootings start happening and then the Dems grab it and run with it.
Absolutely.
And then most of them are not Republicans. They're not conservatives. They're not NRA members. They're not even gun owners half the time. And so it almost looks like they're just almost red flags. Like, yeah, go out and kill a bunch of people, and then we can move the needle, move the window, Overton window over a little more, a little more, a little more. until you got the president of the United States actually even thinking that maybe we need to have background checks.
Yeah.
And I mean, the statistics, I was talking to a guy in Bisbee and he was just on and on about all these mass shootings. And I go, well, FBI statistics say that they're down.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, you can't believe them. I go, I thought they were your end all be all Rosetta Stone.
They're the government. They're there for you.
Right. If you're talking to somebody that can't even accept statistics and facts from the FBI, then there's no reason to have a conversation,
right.
with these people. So I don't know if it's a big grand scheme or what, but it sure as hell looks like it. And I just think, and that was my point to this guy is it's like, yes, there's a problem. And yes, we as Americans should be smart enough to walk and chew gum at the same time. But gun laws have proven themselves not to work. And more regulation has proven not to work.
Right.
So we have enough smart people in psychology and stuff that aren't working for Big Pharma that could sit there and go, at a point in history, America was okay. And we could have gun racks in our trucks and all that. What was the thing that made people that way? And if you look at it, it's bigger government is what's causing us all to snap.
Yes, exactly.
We're just getting tired of, what kind of light bulb to use, how much water our toilet can use when it flushes, whether I can build a pole barn on my ranch or not.
Right.
And then if that's not bad enough, the feds swoop in and steal 90% of your state.
Yeah, it's pretty funny how you have to get permission from the government to build something on your own property.
Right.
Mother, may I please?
Yeah, because the government's sitting back there, mine.
Yeah. You have to go out and get Mother, may I from the government to be able to build on property that you own.
Yeah, you don't have to, but you better. Well, and that's how I look at it. It's like, okay, you can't collect rainwater in Colorado. So then that rain belongs to the state. So when the rain rips your roof off, shouldn't they buy you a new roof? In fact, they should pay for your flood insurance since this damn water belongs to them.
They're causing it.
Yeah. So you
it's like George Bush caused Hurricane Katrina to go up into Louisiana.
Yeah. So if you can't collect the rainwater because it belongs to the state, but then when the rainwater hurts your property, you can't collect from them to fix your property, then whose rain is it really?
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's what it boils down to. That's a good question.
So I see people just reaching their, you ever watch that movie Falling Down, I think, with Michael Douglas?
I don't watch a lot of movies, Mark.
Well, it's an old one, man. You might have been younger and not so cantankerous, but it was, just a business guy. Angry, yeah. And he just, he loses it. And and it shows the reason, all these little things that lead up to the straw that breaks the camel's back. And when you look at life that way, it's the final factor that always leads to someone snapping and shooting. And I mean, I think us Republicans are holding on pretty good considering we're just being, bombarded with red tape, bureaucracy, overreach.
And clear overreach.
And it's the crazy people, the Democrats most of the time, that are causing all these shootings. Look at it was a Democrat that tried to kill all those Republicans at a baseball game. It's like, oh my God, does it get any more blatant than that?
Oh man. Mark, you know what? We're gonna have to pull the straw out of the hat right there. That's gonna have to do it for us.
That's it. Oh well, we're done.
It. We're out of time. If we don't wrap this up, Michael's going to come in here and kick us out. So,
well, he'll definitely email us and tell us to straighten out. Quit being stupid. Well,
hey, listen, folks, we're going to check out for the day, for the week. We will be back with more craziness next week, right here on KYAH 540 AM, Utah's Talk Authority and Contra Radio Network. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you all.
Thanks for tuning in. Catch them next time as they dig into the issues. The Two Crazy Guys. Log on to the website at www.contraradionetwork.com.